Okay, good evening. It's almost summertime and we're going to be making some hamburgers now. So, welcome to another edition of the Mustache Man Kitchen Chronicles. Now, burgers, hamburgers. What we start with is some nice ground beef. But this is 85-15. You want a little bit of fat in there. You don't want the super lean stuff because it gives them much more flavor. But when I say hamburgers, I mean hamburgers. And we're going to actually add ham. We're going to put ham in our hamburgers. That's what you do. And we're going to put another type of ham. We're going to put prosciutto in our burgers. So you got ground beef, you have ham, and you've got prosciutto all in this burger. Now, we're making our hamburgers, all right? So what we've done here is we've taken our ham and we've sliced it up a little bit. We're gonna slice it up into some more cubes, okay? Cube it all up nicely. Delicious, delicious baked ham, really, really good. Dice it all up really good. Same with our prosciutto. We're gonna dice up our prosciutto, slice it up really good. And you'll see what we're gonna do with this here in a minute. I'm gonna get this all nice and sliced up. And now we're gonna take all this, we're gonna put it in our food processor here. And we're gonna grind it all up. And then that's gonna be added to our ground beef. And so we are truly making ham burgers. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, now, one last piece for the Mustache Man. Now we're gonna take our food processor, process this up. We'll come back in a minute and I'll show you the results. Okay, so now we have our ground ham, prosciutto and ham, and we're gonna add that. We're gonna come over here, we're gonna add that to our ground beef. So here we've got our ground beef ready to go. We're gonna take our freshly ground ham, add that into the bowl. Stuff is so good. And then what we do is we mix it all together. So now that we've got it all mixed up, we're gonna add a little bit of Lawry's seasoning salt, okay? Seasoning salt, got a lot of different things in it, including paprika. I like paprika, it's a beautiful, beautiful spice. Really jazzes things up. And then we're gonna add some pepper in there too as well. So we're gonna crunch some pepper in there. Okay, a little bit of pepper. And again, we're gonna mix and mix and mix and mix and mix. Okay, so now we're pounding out our burgers. We pound them out really, really thin. Look how thin those are. But then you say to me, what, Mustache Man? I like a thick, juicy burger. You're gonna get one. Remember our caper butter that we made a little earlier? Here's our caper butter. We're gonna take, this is where our caper butter comes in really, really handy. Look at that beautiful caper butter. Now we're gonna take our caper butter and that's gonna go spread on our burgers. These are going to be the most delicious hamburgers you have ever had. Look at the color, by the way. The color doesn't look like a regular hamburger, does it? No, that's because we have ham in this hamburger, where most of your burgers are ground beef. These are truly ham burgers. So now there's our caper butter. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna double them up. These two thin little patties, we're gonna take those, pop them on top, and like a pie, we're gonna knead them together. So now you've got this butter in between this incredible burger. That's how it works. Then when you cook this on the grill, that butter melts inside, infuses itself in all of the beef and the ham. And when you bite into this burger, it's gonna be buttery and juicy and delicious. So there are two beautiful, thick, gorgeous butter burgers, caper butter burgers. Here we are down at our grill. Got a nice hot grill, it's about 500 degrees. We want it nice and hot. Now, one last thing before we get started. We got our burgers, we got our buns. This is the last secret tip to making the best burgers available. You take some Worcestershire sauce, Lea & Perrins is my favorite, and you take some beef broth. Okay? Put it in a little dish. Okay? Set it all up really nicely. Boom, boom, boom. Put it right here by the grill. And right before we put our burgers on, we dump our burger in the beef broth / Worcestershire sauce. This is going to make this burger super juicy, super delectable. So now we have our caper butter inside the burger, and marinating the outside of the burger right before we put it on is our Worcestershire sauce and beef broth. This is a little tip I learned from a French cookbook that my father had that I found in his house recently. And I kept that book, I read through it, and it talked about how right before you put meat like this on a grill, if you dump it in a sauce like a beef broth, it makes them really juicy and flavorful. I tried it, it's wonderful. It's a great idea. Now we're gonna take our buns with our caper butter, and we're gonna put them up here on top, and we're gonna get those all brown and crispy. So now you're gonna have this juicy, delicious burger with a brown, crispy, really thin bun. It's gonna be great. So our burgers are cooked. Let's take a look. Here's our beautiful burgers, and look at these buns, folks. Look at that, okay? Now, one of the things I want to tell you is this. We all grew up with hamburgers, mustard, ketchup, mayo, all kinds of stuff. My wife, my girls, Lauren and Samantha, called Rita the sauce queen forever because she would put ranch and ketchup and mayonnaise on everything. We don't do that on these burgers. Now, what we might want to do is put some really good healthy food. So take a look down here. We've got some avocado and some beautiful vine-ripened tomatoes with just a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of herbs de Provence on it, and so on and so forth. That's all you really need. Now, but what we're going to do, and what I like to do, is take a look at these burgers. These burgers are beautiful. What I like to do is take one of these buns, put a burger on one of these buns, pop it up, and before I put anything on it at all, I'm gonna take a bite out of that burger. Look at the butter already dripping out of that burger. Look at that. Oh my gosh, is that good. Look at the butter dripping out of that burger. Folks, that is the Mustache Man caper butter with shallots and garlic oozing out from that hamburger. It's got ground beef, ham, and prosciutto all mixed in. It doesn't need anything else. This is the best burger you're ever going to taste. Thank you for watching this episode of the Mustache Man Kitchen Chronicles, and tune in next time when we're going to do Moroccan chicken.